we're doing a podcast.
Yeah. And it's funny how it got started, really.
It really is. It's kind of random. I think it happened at basketball practice.
Happened at a practice or a game.
You're like, oh, you want a podcast? I want a podcast. Let's podcast together.
Yeah. We told us, bounced the story off one another, and man, people would love to hear this stuff. I mean, we should do a podcast, and then here we are 2.5 months later.
As much as I run my mouth, people are either going to love and hate what I say. I mean, it's kind of one of those.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to tune in to me just to see what's going to come out.
What you're going to say. Yeah.
Who am I going to talk about?
Well,
there's plenty of good stuff to talk about.
Plenty of good stuff. And if you're worried if you might be on the list of people we'll talk about, maybe you should change how you act. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably should. Well, let's start with you. Let's get to what is Will.
What is Will?
What is Will? Because you're definitely a complex human being.
I am. I'm part metal. Part
titanium.
Yeah.
We got that in common.
Yeah. No, I took I don't want to say a different route, but small town. I joined the Army right out of high school.
Yeah. I kind of regret not doing that.
I'm glad I'm out. I'll tell you that.
Right. Like most people.
But I wouldn't trade my time in for anything.
Right.
But, I don't even know how old but I decided I wanted to be around helicopters. So I did that, joined the Army right out of high school, and did almost 7 years. And
it's an accomplishment.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It does, regardless of where I find myself in life, I did that successfully and got out honorably. So
yeah, that honorably,
the honorably goes a long way.
It means a lot. Could have went either way.
Yeah. But, did that, like I said, I around helicopters, worked on helicopters, and then got out. And, I'm not going to go in depth on my time in the Army just because I'm sure there will be future episodes where we'll talk about all the stories of all the things I've done.
We'll dive into all this in much detail eventually.
Yeah. But then, I got out, and here I am. I've been out for coming up on 5 years now. And
it's only been 5 years?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Been out. Yeah. Be 5 years this fall. And now I'm a golf course superintendent. Yeah. So
how the hell did that happen?
I
remember Ricky, your dad, being, the golf coach in high school.
Yeah.
Is that how that all?
Not really.
No,
not really. And he still is. He's still the golf coach. But I got out right before COVID hit, and I learned don't burn bridges ever with people because you never know when you're going to need them again in life. And I
wish I took that advice a few times.
When I first got out, I went to Afghanistan as a contractor, and then I ended up having a guy here on the Arsenal pulled me out of Afghanistan and brought me onto the Arsenal as a contractor. And then COVID hit, that contract went under. When that contract went under, I lost that job. Mm. And so then I separated from the government. I mean, that just put a bad taste in my mouth for the government because, I went to bed one night, everything was fine, and then woke up the next morning and I didn't have a job.
Yeah, that's
bad. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I got away from the government and I did, heavy equipment mechanic, whatever, for different agencies, different companies. For a couple of years, had my rec, and I was working for the city of Scottsboro, and that my boss from the Arsenal reached out to me one day, just randomly. And was like, hey, would you be interested in working on a golf course? And money and benefits, that's what's going to drive my decision on that. And, ended up interviewing and getting the job with the Ledges. And
that's an awesome golf course.
Awesome. Yeah, it's
nice place.
Beautiful. I don't have anything bad to say about that place.
Yeah, it's nice.
But I was there for a little over 2 years and didn't really have any plans of leaving that place. I had it made there. I really did. And I made the comment time and time again to everybody I worked with there, the only place that I would leave that place for would be Goose Pond or Plantation.
Right. Yeah.
Just because
it's close to home.
Close to home. That's it. And those stars aligned, and I got to do that. So now I'm over Goose Pond.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now we just got to work on getting that pro over there.
Yeah, we got to get that pro over there.
Yeah.
We do. And
If we pull that off, that will be epic.
I don't even know that epic's the right word.
Epic, and it's in the works, so it could happen.
Yeah, and
it could definitely happen.
Everyone will find out eventually who that.
So
pro
when you were in the Army.
Yep.
You did helicopters.
Yep.
Where all did you go overseas? Like, where were you stationed most of that time?
Well, so stationed, I did. My first duty station was at Fort Hood, Texas, and I hate Texas because of that place. But I was at Fort Hood, and
fire ants.
Yeah,
fire ants are horrible.
Yeah, but yeah, I
big boned women too.
Big boned women.
Charles Barkley was right. They are thick.
Thicker than a Snicker, dude.
There's some big ladies in Texas.
It
ain't just everything's bigger in Texas. Yeah,
everything's bigger in Texas. Yeah,
not always a good thing.
Right. But no, when I was in Texas, I
went fat shaming. I can see it now.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I'm fat, so it's okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I got my gut hid pretty well, I think. But no, when I was in Texas, I did a stint in. It was about a 10 or 11 month trip to Europe. And I mean, while I was in Europe, I mean, I spent most of my time over there. I was over in the Baltic states, up in Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. And then, I got to go to, Germany, Poland, Romania. I don't know. That's pretty much the main countries I went to, I think, while I was over there. Yeah. And then, but like I said, I spent most of my time up in the Baltic states, which is how I would encourage anyone to go to Europe, would be to go to somewhere not, don't go to Paris, France. Don't go to Berlin, Germany. Don't go to the places that everyone in America goes to when they go to Europe.
Yeah, you want to go to the places where they don't shave their armpits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want them real European.
Just give it a couple months and you're used to it. You don't mind it. And it's honestly not bad to snuggle up next to.
Exactly. So, yeah. They keep you warm.
They do. Yeah. And especially over there, it gets cold.
Yeah. Yeah. A little extra hair, that's insulation.
Exactly.
I've never been to Europe. Amsterdam was always really high on my list for the obvious reasons.
Right.
But and I feel like we need a disclaimer for all of our...
Probably need more than one. But...
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get that out there. For all of our old, friendly little ladies and everybody that love us at the ball games and family and, aunts that we really respect, turn it off.
Just don't listen.
Just don't.
It's not worth it.
You're not gonna think highly of us.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your support.
You want to be there for us. I get it.
We got that. But this ain't for you. Right, we'll put that out there. Now you can continue with your story. I just want to. Yeah. I want to clear that up right off the get go.
No, and that's fair. And I think we're going to have some people that listen to that and go, he's probably talking to me, but I'm going to listen anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to make it another couple episodes and go, oh, that's why they said that.
Right.
But, no, Europe, Europe was an experience, man. I mean, we could sit here and we could talk for hours on some of the stories and stuff that I've done over there that I got to do over there. But it was one of those experiences that, again, would I want to go back and go through the Army and deal with all that again and do all that just to go to Europe again? No.
Right.
I'd much rather go as a free human being.
On vacation.
Right.
You can actually enjoy it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I got to go to all those places that I said I did, but not, I was, we were in, I think it's Inowrocław, Poland.
Mm-hmm.
And don't ask me where it's at on the map. I don't know exactly, but I looked it up. It's like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from Auschwitz.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a big history buff anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, not that but I was like, it'd be a humbling experience to go
absolutely
see that.
Yeah.
But because I was there, because the Army told me to go there, I didn't get to go see that. But still, I mean, I got to see and do things that
you never would have.
98% of people that are from Skyline, Alabama don't get to do.
Right. Right.
So
there's a lot of people in Skyline, Alabama that don't get out of Skyline, Alabama too much.
It's the worst thing they can do.
Yes, absolutely. And I kind of had to do that. I thought Skyline was a horrible, horrible place. I thought it was for simple-minded people that did not, ever know anything about the world. So
yep,
I had to explore that for a little while, and then you end up getting older and you find out that hey, this place ain't too bad. It's like it's a good place. It's a good place to raise a family.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely.
I love Skyline.
Like I said, I've been to 6 or 7 different European countries. I've lived in Texas, lived in Georgia, been all over the United States, been to Asia. I've seen it all. And when I got out of the Army, I moved back to Skyline, Alabama.
Yeah.
So, that speaks enough in itself, right. I think.
Yeah, I mean it's not as bad as we thought. The older you get, the more you appreciate it. I mean the school's great, the people are great. Besides the crackheads.
Yeah, I've also learned that you deal with those just about anywhere you go.
Everywhere you go. The bigger the city, the more there are. Yeah, and there really are.
Yeah,
go downtown Atlanta for 5 minutes.
Exactly.
You'll see what's really in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a big fan of Atlanta though.
I hate Atlanta.
I do too. I avoid it at all costs.
I would, yeah.
So now you run a golf course.
Now I run a golf course.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So your job is to maintain pretty much all of the greens and the upkeep and everything.
Yeah, the easiest way to look at it is, and you and I are actually talking about it before. I'm a maintenance manager for grass.
Right.
Oh,
not the fun kind.
Not the fun kind.
Yeah.
Be it the greens, tee boxes, rough, around the tree, everything that is on the golf course, I'm responsible for making sure it looks nice, looks good, is appealing.
So if you think the golf course looks like shit,
it's me. It's my fault.
It's that guy.
Yep.
That guy.
But I just started, so give me a couple weeks.
Got to adjust.
Right.
Got to have an adjustment period a little bit.
Exactly. But yeah, I had no idea how big this golf industry was until I got in it.
I didn't. I mean, I've never been into golf. Never really played golf. Always sucked at golf. I did run over Chris Wade with a golf cart one time while he was pissing. That was probably the highlight of my golfing life. He deserved it, but Chris Wade,
right?
Flamer,
right?
But I suck. Top golf. I got to drive. I'm kind of like a really shitty Happy Gilmore, Like I can drive it on certain days, but my short game, I'll be there all day.
Right.
We'll be there all day.
Right. Yeah. No, it's and that's the thing, man, especially since I've been in this industry. There's a lot of people on my side of the industry that don't have anything to do with golf. Never played it, don't enjoy playing it or whatever. They just like the upkeep of it.
Right.
Which is fine. I mean, you can still have a beautiful golf course with somebody like that, but the in-depthness of it is.
I never really would have understood that until this past week, really. Like, I mean, I know that's the best in the world, but going to Augusta, it's unlike anything you'll ever see.
It is.
It really is. Everybody would always tell me, like, oh, you ain't prepared for how beautiful it is, And I'm like, it's a golf course. I don't golf. Who cares,
Right.
It's just a bucket list thing to go to the Masters, Why not?
But you got to see that when people say there's not a grass blade out of place.
There's no place like it. There's no place like it. Everything is perfect.
Right.
Everything is as perfect as it could be. It's an impressive place.
Oh, yeah.
The time and amount. Oh, God, I couldn't even imagine.
Oh, yeah. I've never done anything on that level at all.
But even on a small, that's to the extreme. I mean,
right.
That's as far to the, extreme as possible.
Right. At the Ledges, we hosted the Corn Ferry, which is minor leagues of the PGA, if you will. We hosted an event for them past 2 years.
That's pretty cool.
Or 3 years, and I was only part of 2. But we as the Ledges in Alabama, that was our Masters.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was your big event.
Right. And we would put everything we had. And I mean, for us to do that, we were making decisions, preparing, getting things in place for that 3 or 4 months in advance. And that was for that.
Right.
So
just for one event.
Yeah.
Yeah. That event.
Whereas I'm sure at Augusta, I know for a fact.
I mean,
that's the only thing they do.
Yeah. They literally make their azaleas bloom sooner. Yeah. I mean, it's to that point to where their azaleas are going to be perfect for that tournament, no matter what the weather is, no matter. And there's a lot of azaleas.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of azaleas.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It's a headache I would love to go and view. Yeah. Next year, maybe.
But a headache I would never want.
Oh, you don't know. No, I couldn't imagine. I've seen people out there with, scissors cutting around the bunkers.
The bunkers, making sure the edges of them don't have anything hanging over. Oh, yeah.
And they're the grass ain't hitting the ground. They're taking it with them.
Right.
Like it's impressive. Fix every divot every day.
Every one of them.
Every day. Replace the sod. It's impressive. And it looks seamless. I mean, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect.
Yeah. You replace, you cut out a 4x4 area in your yard and put down new sod. You'll see that for months.
Oh, yeah.
There, they do it every day.
Every day. You don't see anything.
You don't even
it's
know.
Perfect.
You don't even know they did it.
No.
Yeah.
No clue. It was pretty. I'd say Amen Corner. It lived up to the hype. We got to watch the eclipse on Amen Corner. It was pretty awesome.
That's a bucket list.
I think it was Spieth was out there. Fowler, seen Tiger. It was cool.
Yeah, you gotta. Sorry, I'm saving your stuff here.
I don't know what it is about that phone that does that. It's weird.
I don't know. I'm about to put it in airplane mode. But but yeah, so that's me, and
So then so when you got back from the Army,
okay,
well, let's discuss that. So you had a kid. You got married, right?
So I got married the first time.
The first time
I got married both times I got married. I was in Texas, but the first time was in 2014, beginning of 2014. And I had my first kid in September 2014. And then that one fell apart in the spring of 2015. And then fall of 2016, got married the second time. Spring of 2017, had my second kid. Then that one fell apart in...
We're a hell of a lot closer than I thought.
Yeah. Then that one fell apart in the fall of 2019. I think. Yeah. Fall of 2019, spring of 2020. And then, that was it. It's going to take a lot for me to get married again.
I didn't even think it was possible. Like, the M word was...
Yeah, that's the worst cuss word you can say.
Oh, man, I'd laugh at people. I mean, if they would have told me 3 or 4 years ago, oh, you'd be getting married again. I've been some good Vegas odds to bet on.
The easiest laugh you could have had.
Oh, man, yeah.
Right.
I didn't think it was possible. Until you do.
Yeah. My brother asked me one time after my second one, he was like, you ever get married again? I was like, oh, I mean, I'm not going to say I'm against it, but I'm definitely not looking for it.
When our parents got married, though, or grandparents got married, probably more.
Yeah.
It was different. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
people stood by it. It meant something. You didn't marry somebody unless you plan on riding it out. Nowadays, it's like,
Well,
$500 divorce, I'm out.
right,
You
and
know?
that's back then that was unheard of. You just didn't do that. You didn't want to be those. I mean, not that I don't know. You didn't want to be those people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, my parents have always been together. So, you know, my first marriage was such a bad idea.
Yeah.
That, like, I still had that traditional thought in my head, like, oh, man, I messed up, but I got to write it out.
Right.
Yeah, I write it out. Like, I screwed my whole life up, but hey, here we are.
Yeah. I'm not going to say I blame my mom, but she gave me some advice one time when me and my first ex were having trouble. And I'll never forget it because I was staying for no other reason than my kid.
Yeah.
That was it. I was staying for my kid. And I told her that one day, you know, maybe not that simply, but that was the gist of what she got out of the conversation. Was the only reason I was hanging around was for him.
Right.
And she told me, she said, one of the worst things you can do is stay in a marriage for the kid.
Yep.
You know, it might seem like it's the best best option or avenue.
The kids feel it.
The kids feel it, and they'd much rather, it would suck and take some adjusting, but they would much rather go to dad's for this time and mom's for this time.
But enjoyable.
But at both places, be happy.
There'll be tension, none of that crap.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Actually have happy time. Yeah.
Yep.
I've been there, done that a couple times. So
kids are like sponges, man. They're going to soak up whatever they're around.
Way more than you think.
Oh, yeah.
Keaton, my son's Keaton, he is so much like a sponge that he soaks up the crap you don't want him to soak up.
Right.
You know, they are. They really are. So then you moved on.
Then I moved on. I got, I mean, we'll hit this topic. I was thinking about it after we were kind of going over tonight's episode, but I've never been an addict, so to speak, of anything. Never, done drugs or anything like that. But after my second divorce, man, I was getting out of the Army, I was transitioning out of the Army back in the civilian world, going through my second divorce. Then I lost my job on the Arsenal. COVID hit. Like, it was just a bunch all at one time.
Right. Everything hit at once.
Everything hit at one time. And that sent me into a very dark place. And I don't want to say hooked, but I mean, I was on the bottle.
Right.
Bad. And, even today, I'm not sober.
Right. I mean, you drink.
I drank.
Yeah.
But not like
right. Not on that level.
I drink now because I just want to enjoy a beer.
Right.
I drank then because it would shut all the voices up in my head.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was if I had to pinpoint a quote unquote low of my life, it would be
that point.
It would be 2020.
2020,
without a doubt.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to that because of
2020 fucked up a lot of people.
Right.
It was bad.
But because of 2020,
I was freshly, divorced and still with the sting of all that,
right,
financially and mentally and everything else, But yeah, 2020 sucked, except for business because I owned a gun shop. So 2020 was good to me.
Yeah, that helped you out.
Yeah, that makes you feel a little better.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I I say all that to lead into this, and anybody that knows me, anybody from around here, knows that I had that real bad wreck in 2020.
Yep, I remember when that happened. I remember hearing about it that morning.
Yeah, well, glad you do. I don't
But the
remember.
way I heard it was you were about to die.
I was.
Basically, you were a dead man laying there. I mean, basically, is the way I heard it.
That was. I mean,
then when I heard you were still kicking, I was like, oh, I thought he was like pretty much dead,
just waiting on the time. Yeah,
that's how I heard it.
And that's especially in the get go. From what I understand, that's how, because I don't remember any of it, but that's the way it was pretty much explained to everybody. But I obviously didn't made it through that one, but that that unfortunate event is what really got me away from alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say straightened me out, because I mean I was still a good dude. I just enjoyed a beverage a little more than I should have at the time.
A little extra,
right? But it. I guess it woke me up a little bit, because I've made a Facebook post about it. But no, with my wreck, I shared, and I don't share it every time now, but at the time I would share something, because at that time I lived a life of, I'm I'm good. It's not going to happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. All the bad stuff you see about, this person,
it ain't
this
gonna happen to you.
No, it ain't going to happen to me. I'm good. And then it did, and it was a very humbling wake up. To, hey, dude, it can happen to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it don't matter who you are. I think what I've said one time, it doesn't matter who you are, what you've done.
Oh yeah, it'll get you.
What you've got in life. You hit a rock wall hard enough.
Anybody can hit rock bottom at any time.
It
don't take much.
It don't
take much at all.
But yeah, had that, and then like I said, I mean, since then, man, I've and realistically, even at that time, my life wasn't that bad. I thought it was,
right.
But my perception on me is me. But
you look at others and you think, dang, they got real problems,
right?
It's like me, I was just being a wuss, like, dang, yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But especially since then, man, I've been, I find it hard for me to complain.
Yeah.
Which I hate that it took that to happen for me to get to that point, but
I've been there a few times, so I mean, sometimes it takes a couple times.
Yeah, but I'm good, man. It's awesome. I get to, I'm still here with my kids.
Yep.
Got a good job.
Yep.
Quote unquote successful, just because I feel
good dad.
I appreciate that. But yeah, it's I don't have anything to complain about now.
That means a lot. I honestly, I've got a thing about that. Like, I won't even be friends with people if I feel like they're just a shit parent.
Yeah.
It eats at me. Like, I can't get past that to have a relationship with you.
Even if I know I'm going to have nothing to do with your kids.
Yeah.
If you're not a good,
No. I remember I had a buddy, and I remember he came into work one day, and he said, man, we got to go party tonight. I just made pretty much another $600 a month, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, I got to sign my rights away on my kid. I don't have to deal with that anymore. Don't have to pay child support, nothing. I was done.
Yeah.
Instantly. That's what I was going through, court battle with my first one over that person.
Right.
So it was like, how?
I've never understood that.
Kid,
how people can just walk away from stuff like that. I don't.
And if they do, I have no respect for them. None.
Yeah, me either.
None. That's your kid.
Yeah, that's your, and that, everybody, quote unquote accidents happen. That's what everybody, was that.
Yeah, it's your kid.
You can call it an accident all you want to, but when you laid down that night, you knew what could happen.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep. I mean, nothing changed. That's your kid.
Yep.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how people live that way, really. There's some pretty sorry people in this world, that's for sure.
I don't know that we can call them people.
No. I mean, same way with drug addicts to me. You can sit there and tell me all day long, oh, addiction's this, addiction's that. Okay, yeah, I get that. But when you have a kid that should change that. And if you're not wired in the way that makes you want to change that alone, I've no use for you. I mean, that is as low as it gets to me. Because you choose. I mean, okay, they can say all day long people don't choose addiction. Whatever. There's different opinions on that. Mine is, if you can put that before your own children, you don't deserve those children.
You don't deserve children. Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Nope. Yeah. And you know, I've known people that you would never expect to be the ones to get hooked on something.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, and I'm not saying that anybody's above that.
Man, it can happen.
It can happen to anybody.
Anybody. You ever seen the movie Requiem for a Dream? Man, you really ought to watch it. It's a really good movie. It's got Jared Leto and I don't know who else. But anyways, basically it's a movie following like these 3 stories around how people get addicted. And one of them, you know, they're just the casual partier. But there's this lady on there that looked just like my grandmother. And this movie messed me up. And I think I was pretty stoned when I watched it. And I'd probably been up a couple days. And when I watched it, it messed me up so bad because it was this little old lady that thought she got a telemarketer call and says that she's going to be on a TV show. And she's a little lonely old lady. You know, she gets all excited about it and she wants to lose weight. So she goes to the doctor. Doesn't know her doctor's a crack doctor, basically. Says she wants to lose weight, puts her on a bunch of amphetamines. Well, she gets hooked on the amphetamines, and it just shows this lady, like, basically all the way to her death, all because she wanted to be on a game show. You know, just a little old lady that went and got diet pills, you know.
Right.
And it's true. I mean, it can happen to anybody. But when you have kids and...
When you have kids, and then in my experience with any type of addiction, when you have kids and when you're given and shown that people care about you and love about you and want to help you out of the situations in an understanding manner, and then you still choose not to,
right?
That's where I'm like, I don't.
No, I have no respect.
If you mess up, and I come to you and I go, hey, look, you messed up. You know you messed up. You want to get better? I'll help you get better.
Right.
But I'm not going to put my time, money, effort into you if you don't want it.
Right.
And if you don't want it, that is on you. That is no accident. That is no, you know, people didn't choose this life. No, they didn't choose that life. Sure, I'll buy off on that to a degree.
Yeah, right.
But you did choose not to get out of it.
Right. Right.
That is a conscious decision.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, I've never considered myself an addict. I was a partier. Big difference.
Right.
You know, the only thing that I can say I've ever been hooked on is nicotine, probably. And I mean, you know, like when I got diagnosed with the sarcoidosis, I quit. I had no problem with it. It was the doctor telling me, oh, no, it don't affect your sarcoidosis. You know, you can keep vaping.
Right.
Idiot doctor. But I mean, and then I started vaping again because they were like, that's why I quit.
It's not hurting you, so
it ain't hurting me.
What's it going to do?
The only thing I'm good at, so why would I quit it?
Right.
You know. But, you know, I had my fun, as I like to say. But so it's hard for me as a non-addict to really be on the same level of understanding with somebody that is an addict, because I don't know what they feel, you know.
Right.
So, I mean, I get it. You know, people are different, but you see some of these people and it's hard to understand, like, why are you doing that? Like,
right.
Stop, you know, and some people can't. So, I mean, it's just hard for me when it comes to kids.
Yeah. I mean, because as good parents, that's, you know, and I know this about you, you know this about me. At the end of the day, that's what our lives revolve around at this point.
Yep.
You know, there's been many times where you didn't have your kids on the weekends. You'd be like, hey man, we're going to go do this, but I got my kid tonight, you know, got my kids tonight or whatever.
Vice versa, yep.
And I can't go, or yeah, exactly. Like, you know, I text you, hey, what are you doing? Like,
I don't get babysitters.
We got the kid.
You know, I got them.
Right. If it's my time, I got
It's
them.
my time. Yep.
Yeah. So
I don't really have any babysitters. It kind of sucks.
babysitters scare me.
I know. I just need somebody to pawn them off on every once in a while.
Yeah, not all the time, but
Yeah,
like, you know.
I mean, like every once in a while, like 3 times a week. I get on my nerves sometimes.
Not
I
a
mean,
lot. Yeah.
I mean, not all week, just part of it, like
Part of it,
half
yeah.
a week.
But
I couldn't do it. I get nuts.
yeah. But so that's
It's you in a nutshell.
that's me in a nutshell. Again, that's without going down any
We'll get a lot deeper into some
wormholes on,
Yeah.
you know, my time in Europe, what I've done over there, you know, that I mean,
illegal in most states, especially in the Bible Belt.
Mm-hmm.
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 You'd probably do a life sentence in Mississippi.
Oh, I wouldn't. We wouldn't be doing this if I. No, wouldn't happen.
Death penalty in West Virginia, unless it was a cousin.
That's what I was about to say. Is
Yeah.
it family or not family? Because
Yeah.
that drives that. I think in
Oh,
West Virginia.
Then I think they give you like a free pass for property tax or something.
I think it's you get to pick either property tax or you get to build your own church. One of the two.
Yeah. Holiness.
Yeah. I
West
think
Virginia holiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they. I think. Been a while since I've been up there, but I think that's how that.
Supposedly. So we don't get sued.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
We're going to say allegedly after a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Just to,
Supposedly.
Just-
Hearsay.
so what I heard.
I've been
this
trying
isn't-
to do that on Facebook more, you know. I've been trying to be like, supposedly, or I was told that,
Yeah,
you know.
so what they say
I
is.
need to talk to my lawyer.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea, really.
Probably wouldn't be bad to have them on here, just sitting in the back every episode, just
Yeah, we'll get
then at the end.
we'll get your doppelganger. Just take off 2 letters and we'll get him on here. He'll come.
You think you would?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's get him on
absolutely.
here.
We'll get him on.
Yeah,
We'll get some legal advice on what we should not say to get sued or
Yeah.
slander.
I don't know. I think we're gonna have to just roll the dice on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. Maybe we should form an LLC for our mouths, so we can't lose
So nobody
everything.
yeah,
I can't really get anything.
I don't know how you do that, but
That wouldn't be a
wouldn't
bad
be a
idea.
bad idea. Yeah.
No, I mean, as liberal as the courts are nowadays, we might could pull that shit off.
We-
But my mouth identifies as an LLC.
It might have said that, but that's not what it meant.
No.
That argue with that.
Yeah.
Today's society, you can't.
My mouth is binary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah.
You can't put me in either jail.
Nope.
I'm non-binary.
Yeah.
I said
I-
binary, didn't I? I don't even know the difference. What does binary mean? If you're non-binary,
I think it's
does
the
binary
opposite of
mean-
non-binary, but I don't know what. It's
probably.
it's one of them's one thing, the other one's the opposite of that thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what those things
You know,
are,
they put when you buy a gun, you have to fill out a 4473. You know, to do
Yeah.
all the paperwork and background check. They changed it this past, I think, year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Could be wrong. To non-binary is an option on sex.
that's not the person you want owning a gun.
Okay, so you're telling me that this dude doesn't know if he's a man or woman,
but you want me to give him a gun?
but you want to give him a gun, and then at the same time you want to say we have too many mentally ill people getting their hands on guns.
I don't know how they do that.
It's like I need a liberal to explain that to me because it makes no sense.
You heard it here, folks.
No sense.
Can somebody explain it?
So I here's where I'm going to get sued. I have instructed my people, if they say they're non-binary, we deny the 4473 because I can deny anybody I want to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way business is, or in this business. But I'm not going to say that somebody is mentally competent to own a firearm if they don't know what gender they are.
You take the government stance out of this, that's a really valid argument.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
It's my business, so.
But you
I mean,
throw.
I don't care. I mean, for the record, I don't care if a man walks in wearing a dress or nothing but a G-string if he's got money in his hand. But if he tells me he don't know what he is, he's non-binary. No,
Yeah.
no.
How do
Now,
you?
if he says, "Yeah, I'm a man," I mean that's what's on my ID. That's what I go. That's on my birth certificate, the original one before you went to California and had it changed.
Right.
But I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care. That's fine. You want to wear a dress? Hey, more power to you. Live and let live. I'm all for it.
But yeah, if you don't know, I mean,
But if you're going to tell me you don't know, which is what I assume non-binary means,
I think.
I go to Google. I'll have to look up what non-binary means.
Yeah.
Man, we're idiots.
And that's why we shouldn't get sued, because we really don't know what.
No, we're stupid.
We're just dumb.
Non-binary people may identify as an intermediate or separate third gender identity with more than one gender, no gender, or have a fluctuating gender identity. So what is that, like a hermaphrodite? I mean, what are those? What can earthworms like breed themselves? Isn't that the same thing? Gender identity is separate from sexual or romantic orientation. Non-binary people have various sexual orientations. I never looked up the actual a definition of that.
I don't know that you.
Various sexual orientation. So does their dick turn into a vagina? How does that work? You just wake up and be like, whoop, it changed orientation on me.
Yeah, you just wake up feeling a little feminine today. I guess I'll be a woman today. I don't,
So sexual orientation is a feeling, not a physical aspect.
I thought
gender was you got a dick or you don't.
One or the other, usually.
Right.
But it's
various sexual orientations.
Fluctuating
gender identity.
That's a whole.
I ain't knocking it. I'm just trying to understand it.
Right. Well,
yeah, I might be a little bit, but.
Until somebody can explain it, I'm gonna knock it.
Okay, if somebody wants to come on here and explain this to me on how I'm supposed to understand if you're a man or woman that day,
yeah,
I mean,
also
that's where the pronouns come in. That's what that is, ain't it?
Yeah, but also if somebody comes on and wants to explain that, they also can't get mad when we ask questions.
Mm-hmm. No, because we're stupid.
We're stupid, and we're just trying to learn it.
Yeah, we just want to learn.
And I'm not asking the question because
we don't want to get sued.
Yeah, I'm not asking the question because I think you're wrong. I'm asking the question because I don't know, and
I don't know.
You're the expert on it, so tell me.
And it's not we're hating on it. That ain't part of our lives,
Mm-mm.
I mean, unless you're in Key West on vacation, then you're kind of like, what the
that's different.
Yeah.
But
yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You've been to Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You got the red light district, and then you
said you've been to Asia too, so you've seen the boy girls.
Yeah.
Whether you know it or not.
Yeah. I didn't mean to, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, shit happens when you party naked.
Hey, Dubai is a sweet country. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I've heard stories,
but no, we talked about me. So you, again, I know, kind of. A
lot of people know.
Yeah, but I know I'm
not too quiet about anything.
Your quote unquote story on how you went from a lineman to a
gun trafficker.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say that, but if you want to, no, I mean, you own a very successful gun store, but. How many years ago was it you were a lineman?
Oh, God. See, I broke my back in 2009. So I started in 2002, I believe. Got out of school, partied for a while,
As one does.
in disagreement with the parents. So I was like, peace, I'm out of here. I'm going to go do me. Ended up on a lot of drugs. See, it started out just, you smoke some weed here and there, you partying on the weekend, you kind of go down the wrong path with the wrong crowd. Next thing you know, you're snorting meth in the bathroom, and it happens.
It does. Yeah.
But I never enjoyed meth. It was never meth that I liked. Never liked meth. Absolutely couldn't stand it because it's too much shit to do, and I'm lazy. It's like you got way too much energy on that stuff. You're like bouncing off the walls like a crackhead, like looking for something to do. Like one time, I spent 2 days making a bong out of a Scooby-Doo shampoo bottle. I saw the shampoo bottle, crackhead thinking. I say, that'd be a sweet bong. So.
And your brain wasn't going to shut off until it was just that.
No, 2 days later, it was a work of art. So I thought, I had a bowl on top, I thought it was brilliant, and it was well worth the 2 days of effort and 2 days of dope. But anyways, the main thing was my thing was speedballing. It wasn't the up being the up. It was my heart skipping a beat every once in a while, not knowing my name. That was kind of my, I guess, escape. Because then when you sober up, you're like, man, my life really sucks. I'm going nowhere. Let's just get messed up again.
Yeah.
Keep partying.
You ain't got nothing to lose, so to speak. Yeah.
Then the party kind of got old, and that's why I always said, I'm not really an addict, because there was never a moment that I was like, I've got to have that.
Right.
It was never like that. It was always just like, I got nothing better to do.
You enjoyed it. You were going to do it.
It was, I wanted to have a good time.
But you didn't wake up and go, I can't function without it.
But then you start realizing the kind of people that you're having a good time with. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some good people in there, but it just kind of all hits. And I think I reached a point of kind of rock bottom, like you did. And it wasn't that, I was really hooked on anything. It was just more so of, I was like, all right, it's time to do something with yourself. It's like you partied for a while, you got it out of your system. It's enough. It's enough.
You've had your fun. So
right.
Yeah.
And when I say I've seen it all, I've seen it all and then some. I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I woke up one day and I was just, I'm done. Like, and I was done. That was it. There was no going back. I've never done it again.
Yeah.
Over with. But I mean, it happens to anybody.
Oh yeah. So how long after? So because you went straight from that into being a lineman, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I had a buddy that was doing line work, and I was working at where was I working? Home Depot as a department, whatever you call it, supervisor, whatever, department head, whatever.
Yeah.
And so he called one day and he was like, "Hey, you want to get into line work?" So I went to lineman school and went for like 2 weeks, and it was in my party mode during all that. Like I was living in the apartments. We had like 3 apartments and we're packed out with people,
Right.
And so I went to school for like 2 weeks, and I was just like, man, I ain't got time for this. It's like, I'm having a good time. I ain't doing this crap. So I quit lineman school. And anyways, he called, and we were going to walk in on a crew. It was actually a pretty good story. So the plan was, me and Greg were going to go down there, and they were changing from one company to another. And they were going to have this big orientation night. So he was like, hey, just come down here and just walk in like you've been working with us, and they're going to hire you. And it was going to start us out at like, I think it was like $15, $16 an hour. This was in,
I was going to say in 2002. That's,
yeah, right. Yeah, it was pretty good money.
Right.
And then on top of it, we're getting like $100 a day per diem, and they were paying for our hotel. And it was like, so you get $100 a day. We're getting paid that for 6 days. Anyways, it was a lot of money for 2 people that's never had a real job,
Right.
So we go down there. Well, our buddy's dad, which was from Skyline, we show up. He's one of the foremen, and They pull up to this meeting, shit faced in the company truck. Get out. I mean, beer cans in hand, did not care. And the company guy is like standing right there. And he's like, yeah, no, we're not hiring y'all. So you just got out of the company truck drunk, drinking beer.
Yeah.
He's like, no. So there's me and Greg down there. And we're like, what are we going to do? Like, we're screwed, you know?
Yeah, because that was your end,
And
right?
then one of the other main guys, when we go inside talking to him, he looks at him, he goes, hey, didn't we just fire you a couple of weeks ago? So they were kind of on to us. So, it's like, I don't know how he failed to mention that he just got fired from him a couple of months ago, you know, or weeks ago, whatever it was. So anyways, we had to come back home. And then we got a call that, hey, you got to go get your CDLs real quick. And if you go get your CDLs, we can get you on. So we ended up going and getting our CDLs. And we ended up back in Florida. And we were down there for a pretty good while. Orlando, West Palm, like, you know.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Good spot on the map. Good spot on the map.
Yes, absolutely. Couldn't complain. But see, after that, then I broke my back in 2009. Fell off the pole, 50 foot, landed on my butt. That was a lot of fun.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah. L4 shattered on me. All titanium now. Matches your face.
Yeah, I was about to say, Mike. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Back might be a little prettier than your face, but, you know.
It doesn't take much. No. Doesn't take much.
But that ended the lineman career. That was it.
Yeah, and then, well, I know, again, you and I have talked about it. After that sent you down to, I guess, rock bottom number 2.
Oh, heck yeah. That was called marriage. That was marriage number 1. Yeah. Oh, I thought the drug rock bottom was bad. Mm-mm. Oh, no. Wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah,
rushed into getting married, idiot, young. And then I was told, like, oh, no, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't marry her. Don't marry her. I'll show you. So here's so the day that I got married, my grandma wanted to ride with me. My whole family went onto the beach, you know, and it was Bon Secour Beach. So when you're like headed back toward the house from Gulf Shores, you take that left. You can't miss it. I mean, it's easy turn. Big signs everywhere, you know, pointing right there. We'd been down there several times. My grandma, you turn down that road. Well, I was supposed to be there. I mean, it was probably like a 20, 30-minute ride. I was supposed to be there in like 15 minutes. I'm still in the condo. And my grandma was like, we got to go. You need to hurry up, you know. And I was a nervous wreck. Like, I knew. Like, I had to eat a Xanax. Like, I mean, I knew, like, what am I doing, you know? So we get in the car finally, and we're heading that way, and we get in the turning lane, and the light turned green in the other way, and I swerved over and started driving. My grandma just looked over at me, and she said, where are we going? I said, thinking about going home. She just started praying, oh, Lord, help him. Lord, help him. And finally, she made me feel bad, so I ended up turning around and got married.
Went back and
yeah. Don't even really remember most of it, you know.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you anything about my wedding. No, I'm not joking. Like, I don't remember. That's what it took to get me there, because I knew I was messing up. I did it anyways because I was young and stupid.
Yep, young and dumb.
Yeah, it lasted about a year or so. Yeah, it didn't last long.
About like my first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We have that in common. So I call that one. I don't count it technically. Yeah, it's like everybody gets that one mulligan.
Yeah, your first marriage doesn't count.
No, absolutely. That's a learning curve.
Yep, that's
a learning curve. That's why I'm a firm believer in you test drive the car before you
buy
the whole house.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to live together.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to test it out. That's where old tradition goes out the window. Like, there's no way.
Yeah,
no way.
I just I can't. Tom Segura makes a good. He has it's an older joke, but he says, dating is when a man pretends to be this guy and a woman pretends to be this girl. And then you get married, and it's, the guy's like, hey, can we knock this shit off now?
Yeah.
And the woman's like, yeah, please, because I got to fart like real bad,
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's obviously scaled way down, but that's the gist of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you
much.
don't live with them, see how they act over.
You gotta see if y'all can coexist that much together.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, me and Shelby are together all the time. Like, we never get on each other's nerves, really.
Right.
I mean, and that's rare. Everybody gets on my nerves most of the time at some point.
And I feel like most people probably say the same about you, though.
Absolutely. No doubt. I'm an acquired taste.
Yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't turn a bottle of me straight up. You've got to take it sip by sip. But
like a rich, bold coffee.
Yeah.
Very hot.
But so let's see. So you broke your back in 2009. When did you start back to work? What did you start doing?
Didn't do much of anything for a long time because, I mean, I was sitting on settlement money,
Yeah.
They had to pay me. Where they screwed up is when I fell, there was no butt squeeze safety. A butt squeeze would go on the outside of the pole and then on the inside of the pole. So if you slipped, it would squeeze the pole and catch you.
Yeah.
Well, in my day, they didn't really enforce a safety. I never used a safety. I'd run up the pole and then safety off when I got to wherever I was at, And most foremen didn't care. Well, they had a safety meeting requiring a butt squeeze because of my fall, kind of admitting that they should have done that before.
Right.
So that helped. I mean, and I'm glad it did because I'd been screwed for the rest of my life. I mean, literally.
Oh, yeah.
I had no anything. I was the second day on a job on a new company when I fell off the pole.
Damn.
Second day. Trying to show out,
Yeah.
It happens. But, yeah. So that ended that. So then after that, I got into guns. I've always been real big into guns. So I started peddling. I got to be careful what I say here. I collected a lot of guns and traded a lot of guns. But anyways, I had a buddy, which actually works with me now. I don't say for me, but Clyde, he owned a gun shop. And I got with him, met him. We had talked about opening a shop together, and it didn't pan out. And he retired. And then a few years later, I just decided I got to do something.
Right.
I got to do something. I was getting depressed. It was, it was getting rough. You go from working your butt off, 60 hours a week to nothing.
Yeah.
Sitting there like playing PlayStation because you ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah.
So I was in a hospital bed for 6 months, something like that. Like, I mean, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. But, so I got into custom knives mainly, was selling a bunch online, started doing holsters, started making Kydex holsters, and I decided I wanted an FFL, so I opened the shop. Had no intention on it being like a real business, and it just kind of happened. I mean, so here we are. Now on a podcast, running my mouth.
I mean, I doubt we're going to have any foreign listeners this early, but if we do, if you're wondering what the American dream is, that's it right there.
Gun shop ain't bad. It ain't bad.
No.
This economy sucks, for the record. It sucks. But yeah, most of the time it's pretty good. I mean, I get to play with guns. I get to, shoot machine guns. It's cool.
I mean, just at the end of the day, being your own boss in this day and time.
That's his goods and bads, though. I mean,
yeah.
You have the goods like 2020, but then you also have the 2024s.
Right.
It's a roller coaster ride, and I mean, you can only rely on yourself. You ain't just sitting back like, oh well, I'm still getting a check.
Right?
Nah, you ain't getting a check.
You're getting a check if you're.
You got to hustle.
Move. Yeah.
You got to work a lot harder. People think all I do is sit on my butt, and I do. But I mean, it does take a little bit of knowing what's going on, and it ain't easy sometimes. Which I've got a wonderful person that works for me, and she runs the shop 9 to 5. Like she is
I've heard
amazing.
you say that.
Yeah, she's
multiple
amazing.
times.
I'd be lost without her, honestly. Completely. She's my work wife.
Yeah.
She's the one that reminds me of my doctor's appointments because Shelby can't remember her. She's the one that makes sure my bills are paid, my taxes are done, and
Yeah.
she gets all that. She's like a sister
Lost.
to me too, though. I'd be lost without her.
Yeah.
She's my girl.
But I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of got us
Pretty close.
I mean, at least who we are.
Yeah.
Yep. I think for the sake of the listeners, it's hard to say what to expect from us each episode.
It ain't going to be this.
No, it's not going to be this.
Don't think that this is what we're going to do, because this is just kind of we got to play with some editing. We got to get this figured out. We're just now learning the electronics of it. I mean, we got a long way to go, but we do have some pretty cool stuff planned. And if some stuff pans out, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. We got some people coming on that's going to be very interesting.
We've got some for sure commits coming on that is going to be real interesting. We've got some people that we've still got to finesse and pull over to the dark side.
Yeah,
but no, it's still hard to even say what to expect. Like, yeah, it's for sure not going to be this, but that's the cool thing about what we're doing with this. There's nothing off limits. So
no,
we can't put for sure this is how each episode's going to go, because we could have,
we've got Gary doing the news. That's going to be very interesting, especially for the people that know
y'all's history.
Gary Morgan. And I mean, Gary, I got to give him a little credit. I mean, Gary doesn't speak on something he doesn't have the facts for. That's probably why he talks so much shit about me. Cause,
I mean,
he must have done a little digging.
Right.
It didn't take much, probably. But I mean, Gary's got strong opinions, but he's got the facts to back them.
Yeah,
and we've definitely had our arguments, and to the extreme. I think it entertained a lot of people. So I'm surprised that he's willing to do it, but it'll be good.
Yeah,
it'll be good. Me and Gary have got a good understanding and a respect for each other.
You and him, obviously, talked about him coming on here, and
Gary will be great. He is the perfect guy to handle our local news, that's for sure,
because the local news isn't doing it.
No, the local news don't do anything. I mean, we got nothing really. I mean, hopefully we can kind of cover some of that.
Yeah
I
don't know, play our cards right. We could be the local news.
You never know. No. If people got their news from us, man,
what a world that would be.
They'd be educated. They'd know the dark side of the news. It wouldn't be no
right.
Fox News, CNN. It'd be some good kind of news.
It'd be news.
It'd be like breaking news today. Did you hear my buddy Sean got a foot job?
I did hear that. I did hear that about Sean.
Feet fetish. He pays for so many feet pictures. I don't get it.
Man,
I don't get it. Dignity don't cost much, does it?
Hey, $20 is $20.
Exactly. Whatever pays the bills.
Yep.
But if we get half of what we've got lined up, it's going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, and I don't think we'll have any problem doing that.
No, I don't believe so.
Like I said, I mean, we've already got just the few for sure commits we have to come on here is going to be that in itself is going to surprise in a good way a lot of people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the perk of having you and I talking to these people is it won't be boring.
No, we'll ask the right stuff.
Right.
We'll ask the right. We'll ask what people really want to know.
Yeah, and that, and that's
ain't gonna beat around the bush.
No, and people have asked me, what's it going to be about? Well, really anything, but the gist of it is
whatever's going on.
But also, there's a lot of questions to a lot of things that happen in the world.
Yeah,
that people don't want to ask just because they don't want to be that person. We'll gladly be those people.
Speaking of which, I mean, there's some stuff kind of going on in town here lately. It's been pretty interesting. Like, I mean, you got the murder over there in the parking lot off the square a little bit.
Yeah,
over by 207. Speaking of that, I love 207.
I do too.
I mean, the people, the owners, they're great, and it really irks me, like when you see the news and they made it sound like murder at warehouse 207.
Yeah,
like this. I know, I get it. It's clickbait. It's whatever. Yeah. It's going to get the attention, but for the record, that was not related to that business. It happened outside.
Yeah, well, like you just said, it
didn't stem from the business. It was not an altercation inside of the business. It had nothing to do with that business. This person was looking for this guy.
Right. And like you said, it's clickbait.
And it's damaging. I mean, as a small business owner, it really pisses me off when, I mean, it's kind of like reviews. Nobody ever wants to get online to give you a good review.
No.
They want to get online and talk about the time you screwed up, and then they want to talk shit. And I get it. Hey, run me down. I don't care if I did it. I did it, but it's nowhere near even. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's not there's no better way to put it than like you said. People want to hop on and put the bad stuff. Nobody wants to hop on there and put the good stuff.
No.
But like with it's clickbait. Because they see
but
murder.
As a business owner, these people don't understand, especially in a small town, how much the reviews and stuff like that affects your business. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been on the bad side of publicity before. I'm okay with it. I did it, whatever. I was part of it. Whatever you want to say,
right?
Especially the little Facebook thing. That was a doozy,
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
which one?
The douchers and tweakers page. You make a page. It's like people at Walmart. You add a bunch of people to it. I didn't pay any attention to the page. Next thing I know, the pages went viral, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. We still had that.
Yeah.
And so I'm on there like deleting pictures of a post that people I knew would take some heat,
right,
for making fun of somebody, and I took the blame for all of it, all of it.
Right.
And, I get it. Hey, I made the page, whatever. But I know what that kind of stuff can do. Which, first of all, if you got butt hurt over a People of Walmart page, you're probably not my demographic anyways.
Yeah, I don't care what.
It's a little much. It got turned into, I was racist, I was this, I was that. I was like, how? I mean, I didn't even post it. Like, it was just a page I made as a joke,
Yep.
Anyways, I don't care. Whatever. It is what it is. We thought it was funny at the time. I get it. There's some snowflakes that get offended over everything these days. Yep. I ain't one of them. So It is what it is. But that stuff really messes up a small business. I mean, it really does.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because I know how much. It's going to sound like I'm trying to advertise for 207 or something, but yeah. I mean, it really does bother me though, because I mean, I know how bad that affects a small business,
Well, and especially around here, you and I know the owners personally,
right?
They're great people that put
a lot into this community.
Yeah, not just 207 into
renovating all those buildings down there. I mean, they're hardworking people. They're good people in my book.
We see, when this happens, like if something like this were to happen, and I mean, I'm just going to name if this were to happen at Hooters in Huntsville,
Mm-hmm.
being a chain, it's no sweat off their back.
Couple weeks, they've been forgotten and moved on, and nobody. It wouldn't be anything.
Right.
It wouldn't be. It would, but I mean, it wouldn't kill their business.
Right.
In a small town, it can make or break you.
That's not only the owner's livelihood. They've got great employees that work
all
for
their
them
employees. Yeah,
that now, because of poor titling of the news,
right.
is really what it boils down to.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like somebody should have made a little bit more of a direct statement, addressing that it didn't stem from 207.
Yeah, it's not like they were in 207 fighting.
Right.
They threw them out.
But instead, like the headlines made it sound like, it was at 207, like somebody was killed on the stage or something.
Yeah, I was about to say somebody was laid over the bar dead.
Horrible situation on both parts. So, I mean, that's so pointless. So pointless.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't mean any disrespect to the people involved or anything like that. We're just talking about the business in general. Yeah. And I do know for a fact that they've all been good as far as that goes, as far as the family and all them, as far as with, them. So that speaks for itself. It shouldn't be on the news that, it was a murder in like it was in 207.
But that's how the new local, national doesn't matter. That's what the news is after. What can we title this as that's going to get the most views? Has nothing to do with factual evidence of what's true or false, right or wrong. It's what is going to get the most people to look at this, because everything revolves around money.
Yep.
Everything.
I like money.
And I do too. And so does the people that own those companies and everything else. And that's where they're at.
Yep.
The more views we have on this, the more money we make.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that is all they care about.
It is. But hopefully people will be a little smarter than that. I mean, it happened at the Mexican restaurant over there.
Where Triple R used to be.
Yeah. And which I don't even remember that entire story.
I don't either.
I know somebody was shot outside in the car, I believe. But I mean, even in that, it's not like they ain't bad places.
Yeah.
It could have happened anywhere. Could have happened at the gas station across the road.
If it would have happened, okay, check it out.
If it happened at a gas station, you're not ever going to buy gas there?
That's what I was about to say. If there's people that won't go back to warehouse now, or won't go back to whatever the name of that Mexican restaurant is.
Because of stupid headlines.
Because of that.
Yeah.
But if somebody died in Walmart parking lot, you gonna not go to Walmart?
Yeah, they still be at Walmart.
Most people's first question is gonna be, "Is Walmart closed?
Yeah.
Or can I still go down there?"
Yeah. Double standard.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why local news is a joke.
99% of it.
Mm-hmm.
99, probably 0.9% of it. But talking local news though. What do you think about that school up there on the mountain and all that's going on?
Oh, Section?
Yeah.
Touchy subject.
Very.
We already kind of touched on it a little bit. Like we didn't know what non-binary was. So
yeah.
Anything we say, I guess, we plead ignorance.
Yeah. I think we should, we'll sign something and post it if we have to, that we're stupid and we don't know what we're talking about. But
the news said that a child was turned away from coming to prom because it was a male dressed as a female. So everybody has started a witch hunt on the principal of the school, of Section. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, hearsay.
Allegedly
hearsay. I was told that the parents had told the school to not allow it to happen. So the school enforced what the parents said to do for their child. So how do you blame a school or a school system
Principal, yeah.
or a principal for the decision of parents?
Rightful decision of
Right.
parents.
Right. I'm not going to say that it seems like an attention grab, but allegedly,
if the shoe fits
allegedly,
or something
Yeah.
like that.
so we ain't hating on them.
No.
We're just saying our hearsay.
Yeah. Well, that's anything.
Right. Right.
I don't.
It's once again, but the headline on the news and the person talking, which came off as sounded like their parent that was promoting the behavior, and come to find out they're not even of relation to this person. It was somebody else they just put on there that knew them or whatever to speak, like once again, like section had no mention of the parents' orders.
They found somebody that would speak to the
Get
agenda
views,
that
right.
the news wanted to get
Right.
the views that they wanted on the story.
Right.
Period.
Right. Which, I mean, there's probably like reasons legally they don't say some stuff that they do. But I mean, if they're going to put that out there, it's kind of like that's the opposite of what everybody else seems to know this story as locally.
Right.
I mean, I've been told that story multiple times.
Yeah,
and it's like obviously there's got to be something to it. So
yeah,
but the news don't. You think they're going to go back on there and be like, correction, the parents said not to do it. It's okay.
no, they're not going to do
No,
that.
no.
Well, I mean, you've heard it, I'm sure, and you know how it is. There's always three sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth. And so, like you said, I mean, is the alleged story we're hearing that the parents said, don't let him in, 110% the truth and nothing but the truth? I don't know. We don't know.
No.
But it's going to carry some validation.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't be floating around as well as it is.
No, I believe it, kind of.
Yeah.
I think there's no reason for it to be made up.
I think so too. And this just goes to show where we live, if for no other reason, if because of where we live.
But man, this stuff's already like hit Newsweek, Washington Post, New York Times. Like, I mean, it's gaining steam nationally quick.
Yeah, and it's going to.
It is.
It's going to, because
attention grab was successful.
Yeah.
And it just shines a bad light on Alabama as usual.
Yeah.
We're dumb hicks, stuck in our ways.
Well, I mean, we are, but
I'm progressive.
But we're no
non-binary.
Yeah, we ain't nothing but a bunch of we're well on our way to be the next West Virginia.
We got too many dentists. We got a lot of dentists.
We got more dentists than they do teeth.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
yeah,
I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, probably.
Plus, Saban retired, so I mean that'll probably end some of the bammers. So
it will
better hygiene.
That is where you and I will probably always disagree on this podcast. But no. I guess we started small with just me and you, and then we've slowly started working our way up to what we want to talk about. What do you think about the orange juice expiring, man?
Man, I actually caught hell a little bit about that on Facebook, and I'm like, how can you show sympathy for O.J. Simpson? I was almost getting preached at one point, and it was like, we don't know that he didn't make it to the pearly gates, and it's like, he drove the Bronco there, like,
right?
I mean, come on,
guilty people defend guilty people.
This is a dude that did everything but brag about killing his wife. He wrote a book and made millions saying if I did it.
If I did it.
I mean, he titled it "If I Did It."
Yeah. How you going? Yeah. No, dude.
I mean, then he went to jail for like robbing people at gunpoint for memorabilia.
Yep.
So how can you argue O.J. Simpson?
You
were probably too young to even remember that.
Yeah, no, that happened like at.
I remember I was a kid and I was at my Aunt Sandy's swimming pool, and all the adults were in there watching the high speed chase. Yeah. So I remember seeing it on TV. I remember exactly. Where were you when OJ?
Yeah, no, that was that I was alive, but that was before my remembrance.
I was young. I was a kid,
but
young.
No, so one of my favorite things, and I was kind of brushing up on it today because I don't care about OJ Simpson,
right?
So I don't keep up with it, but I was reading.
I'll hate him forever for one reason alone. Kardashians.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him,
they wouldn't be a thing.
They would not be a thing. So even if he didn't kill his wife and Ron Goldman, he still deserves hell for that.
That's enough. And
that is enough for the darkest pits of hell alone. He's introducing the world to the Kardashians.
Yeah. I'll agree on that.
Nice booty, but she's the Antichrist.
Yeah. But nice booty.
Yeah, very nice booty.
But no, my favorite thing about the Bronco chase is when he was caught and he was insisting that he wasn't running over and over.
Yeah.
But he just so happened to have his passport, $9,000 in cash, and a disguise. But he wasn't running though.
No,
he wasn't running. No need to worry. I wasn't running. I just had everything I needed to get out of here.
To get to run.
Yeah. But yeah, like
that dude was so guilty.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy at work about it today when he died, when it first hit the news or whatever. You know, you or I do that exact same thing, whether we did it or we didn't. But just take away who he is and put me or you in that situation. We're going to jail. We're going to prison.
Yeah, I'll get in the chair.
Yeah. But you
have enough money to get some really good lawyers.
You don't even have to have enough money to get some really good lawyers. You just got to have enough money to pay the right people.
Yeah.
They don't even have to be lawyers. Right.
But I mean, he had like Ben Shapiro and Johnny Cochran. I mean, he had some legit lawyers, though. Not Ben Shapiro.
I was about to say
Robert Shapiro.
Robert Shapiro. But there's so many. This doesn't really have to do with OJ, but I hate how people idolize all these superstars, you know, and famous people, you know, that do this or do that, you know, and what people don't realize that it has nothing to do with who they are as a person.
No.
It has everything to do with how many zeros they have in their bank account. And they, you know, you can get away with anything if you have the right amount of money. Period.
I wish I had that kind of money.
Oh, dude.
FU money.
If I had FU money, I like to pretend like I do sometimes, but then real quick I go, oh wait, no, I don't.
If I had FU money, I'd die. I don't think I'd survive.
I feel like
No. I don't know what I'd do, but I just don't feel like I'd survive it.
I couldn't. I'd make it a little while. I think. Realistically, I think I'd make it a little while if I ran into just like
I'd buy a house in Vegas.
See, it's where you and I differ.
Have a beach house, a Vegas house, a small island, not like Epstein's.
No, and again, it's hard for me to even really hard for you too. I mean, you can say you do all this, but realistically, until you have that kind of money, we don't know what we would do.
I don't know. I might build a compound on Skyline.
Hey, just see if you can get a hold of that guy from Waco, Texas, and see where it went wrong for him, just so you don't make that mistake.
Speaking of compounds, we might have a compound owner coming to speak to us. That'll be interesting.
That will be interesting.
Yes, very interesting. I'm interested to hear that story. He's got some interesting stories for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll find out.
I struggle. I don't struggle. I hate knowing things that we don't want everybody else to know yet.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
That'll be good because he's got some stories for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Stories / I gotta leave it alone.
Yeah.
I gotta leave it alone.
Well, there's a female that I'm going to see if I can clue you in on who I'm talking about, that has agreed to come on here and talk about her career that she chose for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That one's going to be an interesting one.
That'll be an interesting one. Yeah.
You know, we're idiots, but I don't know. Like I need to shut up, or I'm going to say something I don't need to say yet.
No, not yet. We got plenty of time for that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't.
I think we about covered it.
Yeah, I mean, for what we were aiming to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did want to hit on this. Because I did do some research on OJ. This is dark, I guess. And it's pretty dark, but it's where my brain went when I read it. And that is, so he died from prostate cancer.
Right.
Which, A, very fitting and deserving.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But B, do you know what his astrological sign was?
What?
Cancer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I read that and I was like,
Star worshippers.
Yeah. That's don't get me started.
Don't you believe in Mercury's pulling something or retrograde?
Yeah, and that's why that's why, all these women are doing whatever they're doing is because of how Mercury's orbiting the sun 7 years from now.
We need to nuke Mercury if that's what's making all these women batshit crazy. If that's the solution, blow it up.
Yeah.
Who needs Mercury?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stargazers. It's funny though, but it's been around forever.
It has.
It's actually been around longer than religion. So I mean,
I think
we knock it, but it's been around longer than what most people believe in.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it does not hold the weight that people try to give it these days.
I don't believe so.
But I do think that it has a relevance in some aspect. I don't think us as a human species today know what that relevance is.
No.
But it's there because there is too much quote unquote funny stuff, I guess, with it for it to just be
There got to be something to it.
There's right.
Yeah,
you don't just.
We'll have to save that for another one.
Yeah,
we could get deep in that.
We got to find. That's what we should do. We should find somebody that is just a diehard stargazer. I mean,
I know a couple.
I feel like I could go on Facebook and find a couple.
Oh yeah, just mention the retrograde.
Yeah,
they can't refuse but chime in.
Yeah, and then
throw moon rocks at you or something.
Yeah,
gotta have moon pies,
dude.
Well, that's what we'll serve that day.
For sure,
we'll have moon pies.
Dude, I was in Walmart today. They had a whole middle thing, in the aisles where they put the not end cap, but like the middle.
Yeah.
Small little things in between two aisles. There was one that had nothing but moon pies on it. I was like,
I love moon pies.
Dude, they're good.
You put them in the microwave?
Never done that. Swear. Never done that.
Jesus. Go to the store, buy you a chocolate moon pie, put that damn thing in there for 30 seconds, and it will change your life.
Really?
You've never microwaved a moon pie?
Not one time.
Sean, you ever microwaved a moon pie? See? Yeah, or some whipped cream. Oh, that's a delicacy. That kicks it up 80 notches.
Well, I guess I know what I'm
You gotta
doing
eat
when
it
I
with,
leave
you gotta
here.
eat it with a fork though, because it's a mess.
Well, yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah, but you gotta wait till it blows up, and that's when it's ready. When it starts.
All right. Well,
Make sure it's the double deckers.
I know what I'm doing when I leave here.
Oh
Then.
yeah. I may have to stop and get a moon pie. But, all right, we're gonna end this.
Yeah. Do we want to? Or not? Do we want to? I mean, just to bring the episode to an end, I guess. You've seen it posted on Facebook. You've seen us talking about it. Whatever. If you got something you want to talk about, you got something you want to know about but don't want to talk about it,
Messages on Facebook or email us.
Nothing.
Nah, we're looking for ideas. We've got some stuff lined up, but we can always use more.
Always. And if you've got
your worst thoughts.
Yeah. Stuff you stuff you want to know about but don't want to ask the questions of.
Yeah. If we can get them on here, we'll do it.
Yeah, you got somebody you hate, and you got a list of questions you want to ask them, or why they did this, or why they think this way. If they'll talk to us, we'll ask them for you.
Absolutely. The call-ins are going to be interesting when we start doing that. That'll be interesting. That'll be fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be it'll be an experience.
Yep, it sure will.
But shoot,
once again, check out Brown Water Basement. My buddy Sean, he's a liquor connoisseur. He can definitely hook you up. Good private picks, good barrels picked, good selections.
I love liquor.
I like liquor. That's why I keep him around.
That's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. He ain't too pretty.
No.
All right. Till next time.
Till next time.